Does anybody else need Josiah? What's up, guys?
You go home, Josiah.
Okay. All right, good deal.
What do you feel like that game's going to kind of look like out there? What are you expecting out of them?
Expecting a team that's high motored. I feel like they're gonna come in with a bad taste in their mouth. They're ready to actually like try to punch us in the mouth and win the game because of what happened last year. I feel like they'll be ready for the moment, but I feel like we will too.
What's coaching kind of working on you guys to kind of neutralize that? Oh, it's 6 a.m. before we're going to say
Get our depth and our drops and playing drive off the quarterback and make tackles. I feel like we're a good tackling team. But you got to showcase it, getting our drops and playing drive, and when the ball is in the air, attack it.
Y'all had some mixing up the missed tackles last week. Delayed blitzes. Y'all been working on this type of thing this week?
We got a couple blitzes in, a couple delayed blitzes in. Because their O-line is a lot of times their O-line they see 3 defenders. They get a lot of drop 8, so they don't really see backers blitzing. But we got some stuff.
DeAndre, these guys may have already touched on it, but what makes playing in Starkville so difficult for a lot of teams, not just you guys?
It's just a tough place to play. I only played there one time, and all I can remember is just the cowbells and just losing. I mean, it's a draining place to play in. Like, just the cowbells really drain you. The crowd really drains you, and they make a play. You can feel it. Like, you can feel it. Just like in really any other SEC stadium. Like, when the other team makes a play and it's air at home, like, you can feel it, and you can definitely feel it in Starkville.
And Coach White talked to us about how important tackling is going to be this week. How much has that been stressed?
It's been stressed. It's been stressed heavily. We run our tackle circuit every day. We practice thudding up, practice planning and driving and fitting, 2-man vice. So it's very important with a team like this. Because some of their pass plays are like run plays, like short, just dumping it off. So we just got to make it tackles. We can't let a 5-yard catch go for 20. You know what I'm saying?
You almost view it like those little short passes are actually run game.
Run plays.
And some of the young guys Trevin Wallace, and also Marquez Pro and all those guys get a chance to work, during this off season, during this off week and whatever. How much improvement have you seen in those guys? I know Trevor's coming along.
They show each week they show improvement little by little. They get extra film in. You can tell they want to get better. They still got a long way to go. I mean, some of it come with experience. Trevin plays a decent amount. I mean, he's learning. I try to tell him things from time to time, but a lot of the improvements and growing comes from just having experience. So once they get more experience in the game and just keep practicing, I feel like they'll grow even more. But they're growing, like, physically they've grown and they show like that they can run to the ball and just knowing where to go.
The film room has been an important thing for those guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I understand that Trevor spends a lot of time in the film room.
Mm-hmm. The film guy, just like me. He really like a young me. I see him. The little 2 armbands he wear in the game, he got that from me.
Yeah, okay.
He go to meetings with no shoes on, got that from me. He sit, as soon as we get out of practice, I guarantee you in there right now with his shoulder pads still on, everything's still on his phone right now. He got that from me. So it's like little brother. It's a little brother. It's funny. I noticed it. He ain't gonna say nothing, but I noticed. Don't tell him I told him.
That started way back in the summer, didn't it? Because he was following you around everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool though. He's a cool guy. He gonna be way better than me.
You touched on this real briefly, but I'm kind of asking you to get inside their heads a little bit, which is tricky at times. But that game for Mississippi State last year was one of their worst games of the year. Mm-hmm. For you guys, that might have been Missouri coming into this season. Do you kind of anticipate that they may have a little extra juice because of that?
Mm-hmm. I feel like they will. I feel like I don't see them not. Like, I don't see that not happening. We prepared for it. I mean, we know we're going to take a lot of heavy shots in the beginning of the game. We got to handle it and then hit them with our shots. We got to take the shots and then be able to punch back. See, I got the everlast punch back.
What about Luke getting up and addressing the guys? We heard that he kind of had some things he wanted to make sure these young guys understand what they're getting into.
Yeah, I mean, because we got a lot of guys that ain't ever, been to some of these SEC stadiums, and it's not home. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get the warm welcome. You're not gonna feel at home, but you still got to play to the best of your ability. You still got to come ready to play, ready to win. So, I mean, he just stated what I would have said the same thing. I mean, I tell my guys every week we not playing in Lexington that like this is you gonna hear the fans. You gonna. I told them exactly what I had when I was 19 and 18 going to these games. So.
The guys up front keep the offensive line, the offensive line on you all. Are these, the ones in the past, like last year, they did a pretty good job with that? And what about some of these young guys? They come along and that, that respect?
They're young. They still got to learn they're learning. I feel like they came along from where we were in the spring and the summer. They came a long way, and they still coming a long way. They still have like growth to do, but they come along. I'm glad they're getting this experience and exposure now, because I mean it's only gonna help them and us in the long run.
Open date, probably good for everybody's body, but how bad does everybody seem to want to play again now?
I feel like I see it out there. Even with myself, like my coach told me I'm running better than I've been in a few weeks, and I feel it. Like we all just ran into the ball. We got a thing like if the ball hit, if the ball ever hit the ground, everybody's running to go pick it up. So I mean, everybody's running around. I feel like people like we all have a lot more energy. This bye week, I feel like it was good to us.